How is it going, everyone? Welcome back to another nightly review. Today, I will be going over the Golden Knights, uh, 25-minute long game that they did to beat Colorado, right? Yeah. Uh, so this was an interesting one. I very much enjoyed the outcome. However, for 40 minutes of this game, I was not the happiest camper. So, Janmark and Holden in, Reeves and Haig out. I wouldn't be shocked if Reeves goes back in for game six. And if Haig is back in for game six, no injuries, just line shuffle. There was a big line shuffle for the Avs. Donskoy was on the fourth line. They had Newhook back in. They had Landeskog on the second line. They had Sod up on the first line. And yeah, so those are the Avs adjustments going to the game. And I thought that it was going to be necessary for the Golden Knights to come out of the first period without Colorado scoring. Because if they do, that's just going to frustrate Colorado after the two games they just played in Vegas. And it's going to be a big part of the mental game of this series. So Taves got the first chance of the game. Then Pietrangelo got a chance. Alex Pietrangelo was one of the few Golden Knights I thought played the full game. While the defense for the Golden Knights was very good, the offensive play through the first two periods was bad to non-existent. So yeah, after that, Girard would get a chance. Then the Golden Knights at that point in the game were allowing the Colorado Avalanche to just fly right through the neutral zone, which throughout this series has proved to be very troublesome for the Golden Knights. Now they've done a great job over the last three games to shut that down, but early in last night's game, it really wasn't happening. So after that, Rantanen would absolutely whiff on a just open net, and then Fleury would rob Graves after that. But then there was kind of an interesting call where Rantanen skated into Fleury's stick, which kicked Fleury's stick away from him, which was a goalie interference call. Now, this was a game of some interesting penalties, to which there were none, unless there had to be. But considering that that was the only penalty called on the Avs, um, that's a pretty suspect one to pick. Um, so yeah, Pacioretty would get a chance on that power play, but Fleury would stop Nichushkin shorthanded, and then Pietrangelo would get a chance after the power play ended, and that was about the end until the first commercial. Then the Golden Knights would get the next two chances of the game from McNabb and Holden. Then Marc-Andre Fleury would stop Cale Makar, and Chandler Stevenson would get a chance, and then Pietrangelo would get a chance. Now, I know that I'm saying that these are chances, but most of these chances were shots from the point, and notice how they've been mostly defensemen at this point. Then the misfit line would get a huge chance where Riley Smith was kind of on his chest in the crease, and Carlson tried to bank one off him into an open net, which would have been a fun goal. However, that didn't work. And then, it's about a minute left, or 10 seconds left. Avs get the puck, and Brandon Saad skates down the ice, and so he's coming down on Fleury's right, and he shoots the puck at Fleury's, or try to go over his right shoulder. Fleury is left-handed, meaning that his glove is on his left hand, and he was trying to shoot the puck over his right shoulder. And for some reason, instead of just doing the simple motion of, Fleury decided to try to reach his left hand over this way, which did not work. And Brandon Saad scored with 0.8 seconds left in the first period, and it was maybe the worst goal I've ever seen Marc-Andre Fleury allow in the time that I've been watching him play. So, yeah, that was interesting. Shots after the first were 10-9 for Colorado, and they come out with the only goal. And I wonder how different this game goes if Colorado doesn't get out of the first period with a goal. Because the second period was all Colorado. Like, I'm shocked that the Golden Knights got as many shots as they did. So Fleury stopped Girard early, then Pietrangelo get another shot from the point. Then Fleury would rob Jost, who had a partial break, and then Smith would rob Newhook of a wraparound goal. Then Fleury would stop Makar, and at this point, the Golden Knights had 12 shots, and 11 of them were from defensemen. Chandler Stevenson was the only Golden Knights forward with a shot in the game at this point. And, yeah, that's not exactly a winning recipe, considering you're playing the goddamn Avalanche. Then, Fleury would rob McKinnon, and then he would rob Comper and Machushkin. But Fleury cannot hold it forever, because Newhook would pass it to Donskoy, who shot a one-timer, and that would beat Fleury to make it 2-0. So, Donskoy from Newhook and Patrick Nemeth. After that, Pietrangelo would get the last chance of the period. Again, a shot from the point. However, at least it's something. Out of the 14 shots at that point in the game for the Golden Knights at the end of the second period, 3 had been from forwards, 2 of which had come on the same shift from Riley Smith and William Karlsson, or it was Marchessault Karlsson. But 6 of them out of the 14 were from Alex Pietrangelo. Alex Pietrangelo had a good game, but when you have 6 shots and you have almost half of the shots the Golden Knights had in the game up to that point, that's not exactly the way you want to win. But at the end of the second, Colorado's up 2. Golden Knights are down. They got outshot 11-5. Somehow the Golden Knights got 5 shots in that period. Notice I didn't really say the Golden Knights got a chance other than 2 Pietrangelo slap shots. Yeah. So going into the third, I wasn't the most optimistic, considering the game that the Golden Knights have played so far. And, yeah, considering the entirety of the second period was played in their own zone, and that they just were not doing anything. And then, 63 seconds in, the Avs make their first big mistake. So all the defensemen, so Burakovsky has the puck, and he turns it over to Janmark. And because the Avalanche defensemen were so used to jumping up into the rush, they just disregarded that Alex Tuch was all alone behind them when the turnover happened. So it went from Janmark to Waugh, passed it to Tuch, and then it was kind of an off pass, or at least an off catch of the pass, because it deflected up into the air. But then Alex Tuch decided to become a baseball player and bat the puck in. Incredible goal. Grubauer had no chance, and hope is restored. The Golden Knights are one shot away from tying this one. And yeah, one shot. And this game's tied after the 2 periods of, well, the first period wasn't horrible, but the second was definitely garbage. But yeah, Fleury would stop McKinnon, and then 3 minutes and 4 seconds after the first goal, it's Marchessault who scores from William Karlsson. Again, Grubauer has no chance on that one, but this game's tied 4 minutes into the second period. The second period gave me no hope going into the third. And the first 4 minutes restored everything. Then Rantanen would hit the post, and he started celebrating, which was a little weird. It was kind of like when Smith did it last game, except that resulted in a goal for the Golden Knights, and not, Rantanen just walked away after he hit the crossbar. Then Fleury would stop O'Connor on a break. Then Fleury would stop Makar. And that was a weird play because it was blown dead before Fleury hit the puck. So they get a little lucky there. And then puck's in the defensive zone. And for the third game in a row, Shea Theodore puts the puck over the glass, and it's delay a game. Third game in a row. The third game in a row, he put the puck over the glass. You worked so hard to tie this game. And Shea Theodore puts the puck over the glass for the third game in a row. He's becoming Mitch Marner. My God, dude. Can you score your first playoff goal instead? Like, that'd be pretty nice. But the Golden Knights come up with probably their best kill of the entire playoffs. They shut down the Avalanche there. The Avs got nothing, not even a shot. After that power play, Fleury would stop Nichushkin. Then he would rob Jost. Then Martinez would get a chance. And then, with about 10 seconds left in the game, Mark Stone powers his way through Cale Makar, all alone in front, and he misses the net. That could have gone better. It would have been great if he'd scored there. However, we go to overtime. Golden Knights do outshoot Colorado 10-7. The period they needed to get the goals, they got them, and they outshot them. So, in overtime, 10 seconds in, Fleury robs JT Compher 10 seconds in. Puck stays inside. Ryan Graves. One thing that a lot of Avs fans and a lot of analysts are talking about is the Avalanche's shot selection. They shot a lot of pucks right at defensemen. They didn't try to get around them. They just tried to shoot through the Golden Knights. And that's the Golden Knights blocked some big shots, and that generated a lot of turnovers last night. And yeah, so Ryan Graves shoots the puck. Mark Stone deflects it, or he blocks it. Then he tries to shoot again, and I couldn't tell. I think it was Pacioretty who blocked that one, but Pacioretty gets the puck, or Pietrangelo gets the puck out of that. Gets to Pacioretty. Stone starts sprinting up the ice past Ryan Graves, flies by him, skates all the way up to Grubauer, shoots high glove, which has been weirdly a weakness for Grubauer this series, and he scores, makes it 3-2, win. The Golden Knights win this one in overtime, and there you go. The Golden Knights do get outshot 2-1 in overtime. However, total shots, 25-30 for the Avs. The Golden Knights win this one, 3-2. Going back to Vegas for Game 6. So, yeah, Golden Knights do get a little lucky in this one. However, Fleury played really well after what was probably the worst goal of his career. And yeah, they played really well in the third period, and they kept the momentum up in overtime. Now they're coming back home to the Fortress for Game 6. This series could end on Thursday. Who knows what happens? I hope the Golden Knights win. I'm cautiously optimistic for Game 6. A lot of people want this series to go 7. I don't. I really don't want this series to go 7 because that means the Golden Knights lose. So, yeah. Oh, not lose the series, I mean lose Game 6. I'd love for them to win it in 6. So they played incredible at the Fortress in Game 3 and 4. Let's see if they can do it again. If they can play the way they played Game 4 again in Game 6, they will beat the Avs. And they have an excellent chance of going to the Cup final because they're going to be playing Montreal. And while definitely not overlooking Montreal, I don't think Montreal's as strong of an opponent as Minnesota or Colorado. But Montreal's hot, and Carey Price is a good goalie in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see how that series would go if the Golden Knights get there. But the Golden Knights have a really good chance here. And the first step of capitalizing on that chance is winning on Thursday. They need to win Game 6. That gives them some rest time, at least. Give them a couple games rest, a couple days rest, 2 days. 2 days of rest. Because they have played almost every other day since the beginning of the playoffs. They need some rest. They need to win Game 6. So, yeah. Then you go in and you beat Montreal. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how that series goes because a lot of people have said the North Division was really weak. Montreal played kind of a joke team in Winnipeg. And it's going to be interesting to see how a team like the Golden Knights. Now, last year, one of the biggest problems I felt the Golden Knights when going against Dallas was they hadn't really faced a good team. They faced two really good teams in the first two rounds of the playoffs. They beat Minnesota, and they are on the cusp of beating the Avalanche. They do this on Thursday. They're not playing as strong of an opponent as the Avs or as the Wild. Now, historically, if my memory serves me right, the Golden Knights are not incredible against Montreal, but they have beat them. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that should they win on Thursday. Or, should they win on Saturday. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but yeah. Hopefully the Golden Knights can take Thursday. I prefer Thursday. Please, Thursday. And that's it for this one, guys. If you want to get my thoughts on the game during the game, you can follow me on Twitter at 2_pad. And that is it for this one, guys. I will see you next time.